Yeah, we've definitely got an active start to this Super Bowl weekend, especially on a Saturday when we have our next storm system rolling through. That brings our next round of wintry precipitation that includes some freezing drizzle, similar to what we saw Wednesday night. But in the meantime, we're staying nice and dry. Temperatures only down to the low to mid 20s tonight. That's because cloud cover is returning. That acts as the blanket over the atmosphere. So temperatures don't move very much overnight, but then that wintry mix returns tomorrow. So we have some similarities to the slick travel that we saw back on Wednesday night, but there are some key differences that I'll go over in just a second. But first, let's look at future track. We'll see some of this activity rolling in around sunrise, but I think this is going to struggle to reach the ground at first. I don't think it's going to be until about after 9 o'clock or so that we really start to see those impacts with that freezing drizzle. Farther north into southern Wisconsin, we'll see that as snow pretty much the whole time here as this activity continues through the morning and into the early afternoon. We may get a little bit of a break in the early afternoon, and then another push of colder air from the north will change any kind of lingering precipitation over to snow, which is much better compared to freezing drizzle. But otherwise, some light snow maybe on and off through the afternoon before we dry out into the evening hours. But we'll still have some slick road conditions even a few hours after that precip ends. So the main threats here I'm looking at between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. Not looking at a lot of ice accumulation, but we didn't see a lot on Wednesday. So any untreated roads and sidewalks especially will turn very slippery very quickly. In terms of snow, only looking at up to a ½ inch really at most. And if anything, we see a little more into southern Wisconsin, even further into Wisconsin. So the similarities with Wednesday's event is that we do have the freezing drizzle. Like I mentioned, that can cause those slick road conditions very quickly. However, we'll have lighter winds this time, and it's also going to happen during the daytime. Any kind of sun, even though it's filtered through that cloud cover, will help limit that ice from accumulating. So let's cross our fingers that this is more of a isolated event instead of the widespread slippery conditions like we saw on Wednesday. And then also light snow will be mixing in. That'll cut down on that ice accumulation north of US 20. So we have a pretty active start to the weekend, but as we head towards Super Bowl Sunday, we are looking nice and dry, a little cooler, even though we have a little more sunshine, with those highs staying in the 20s during the day on a Sunday. We warm up a little bit on Monday, maybe getting close to, if not above freezing again. And then an active stretch begins through next week with multiple rounds of snow on the way. And your most accurate 10-day forecast, that even continues as we head into the middle of February with some bone-chilling weather potentially as we head further into the month.